motorcycle for me were everything. So I said, Dad, Mom, you know, like if you remove the bikes from my life, you remove one half of my heart. So I said, please let me just, you know, live this dream.
This is the Trailblazers show. I'm your host, Megan Kaptein, and today I'm featuring a special guest, Noemi Napolitano. She is a motorcycle designer who moved across the world from Italy to work at a motorcycle startup here in Vancouver. Noemi, welcome to the show.
Ciao, thanks.
I'm so glad to have you.
Thanks so much.
So I'd love to hear a little bit about your job. What do you do as a motorcycle designer?
Okay, yes, actually as a motorcycle designer, I mostly take care about the styling of the motorcycle. So sometimes the people get confused. They say like, are you an engineering? Do you work in the mechanical side? And I no, actually I work with the mechanical people, the engineering team, but I work on the styling and all related to that part. So the fashion part of the bike, let's say.
The fashion part of the bike, I like that.
Yeah.
So you're currently working for an electric motorcycle startup. Can you tell us about that company?
Yes, so I work for Damon Motorcycles. We are an electric a company that designs electric motorcycle. I'm working with them since now 1 year and a half, more or less. So I worked for a consultant company before, and now I'm working with them, and this is super exciting. When actually Damon contacted me, I was so excited about the idea to move in another country and to do actually my dream job, because I wanted to do the motorcycle designer since I was very, very young. So it's an amazing company, and yes, I'm very excited to work with them. It's a great opportunity to explore the electric world in the motorcycle industry, that it's something pretty new for everyone, let's say. So.
Very cool. Can you tell us specifically about the bike that you've been designing at Damon?
Yeah, so actually now I'm working on, let's say, the production part of the Hypersport. Until probably a few months ago, yes, now, I worked on the Hyperfighter. So the Hyperfighter is our naked bike. We share actually the same platform with each bike, but what I was doing a few months ago was the Hyperfighter. Yeah, so the Hyperfighter was a very exciting project. It's actually my first project, so it was a very big challenge, a huge challenge, let's say.
Wow.
But yes, a great opportunity for me also to start in this industry.
Can you tell us a bit more about the bike? Because a lot of the viewers probably don't know much about the specific bike. Tell us a little bit about the design.
Yeah, absolutely. So when the company arrived with the brief, they had the ideas very clear in mind. So they wanted something synonymous of power, of masculine bike. So actually my inspiration was a Spartan warrior, the armor of the Spartan warrior. And I started since the sketch, so sketching by hand, like black on white paper. And then I arrived in the, let's say, the 2D Photoshop part. So someone helped me to choose the final side view. And from that, we started to develop in parallel the bike with the modeling in 3D. And yeah, so my inspiration, it's visible, let's say. If you go around the bike, it's very visible because you will see the helmet of the bike in the front and the chest armor in the tank of the bike, and then arriving in the final part, so in the tail of the bike. And then you have in the side view these shields that go to, let's say, wrap the radiators. So let's say that my design wanted to be very, wanted to follow a concept itself, but also to have a function inside. So yeah, the design is something very interesting, amazing, but it's very complex in some parts. So you have to always have the problem-solving approach, and also to be let's say, a motorcycle designer, bring you in this problem-solving approach every time you design something. So.
Well, it's a very beautiful design. Congratulations.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
Pretty amazing that that's your first design too.
Yeah, thanks so much. I mean, I could not do something like that without the professionals that helped me and supported me with that. So I'm glad that I had someone that could help me in that way, and without them I could not do something like that. But
no doubt. I mean, it sounds like a pretty amazing team that you have supporting you at Damon,
yes.
And quite a few women working there as well.
Yeah. We are actually a lot of women. We are a lot, and I will not expect that because it's a very male-dominated work industry in motorcycles. So,
sure.
But it's very interesting also to work with so many women. Something that, as I said, I never done before. So it's very interesting. It's very nice.
How would you describe? Would you describe the Hyper Fighter to somebody who doesn't know anything about the bike?
Okay, so yes, our bike, the Hyper Fighter, is a naked bike that have an high performance electric platform. We have this Hyper Drive. The Hyper Drive is a multi-variant powertrain platform that we share with all the bikes that we have in the company. So we have a very high performance bike with 200 horsepower and 200 Newton meters of torque. It's a very, very
serious bike.
Yeah, it's a serious bike. And so yes, it's very interesting. Actually, this is the first thing that I was very interested in when I joined Damon. So they have very interesting technologies that they have on the bike. For safe technologies, very innovative also for safety systems.
Right.
So we have something that I would love to put on my bike because it would be very nice. So it's the shift system. It's this system that mostly change, let's say, the ergonomy of the bike. So you have the possibility to have two bikes in one, because all electronically pushing a button, the handlebar would raise and the footpegs will drop. So you have something that change directly on one bike. And so this is something that at first I was super fascinating about. And so this is called the shift system. This is something very particular of Damon.
Yeah, that's really neat that they're doing that. Arguably, they're only ones in the world that are doing something like that. I'm
quite sure that we are the first company that introduced the technology directly in the motorcycle.
It's very cool. Very neat project to be a part of.
Yeah.
So do you think there are any differences in terms of how a woman would approach designing a motorcycle than, say, a man would?
So actually, this is a question that a lot of people ask me. At first, I always thought that actually there are not like huge difference, because design is design, beside like the sex, like male or female. But I have to say that probably approaching to the Hyperfighter project, there is one difference. So, I mean, I'm not sure actually, but this is what I think. So, if you see, for example, a Panigale, a Ducati Panigale, it's clearly a woman body, 90-60-90 from the top, clearly. From my part, let's say, in my project for the Hyperfighter, the brief was asking me to do something muscular, powerful, and for me it was actually easy to be inspired by something that was masculine, because I'm attracted by masculine shapes. And so if you see the Hyperfighter in front and in the top view, you see clearly like a warrior, male shape. So in this project in particular, probably I can say that for me it was very easy to be inspired by something that was very masculine. Maybe also because I'm a woman, I don't know. I'm not sure, but probably it's also, this can be a difference.
Do you have any designers or motorcycles that particularly inspire you?
Well, for sure, as Italian, I would say that Ducati for me is a brand that is doing an amazing job. I see Ducati as a very interesting brand from all the points of view, the values behind the brand. So if I have to think about my favorite, let's say, design, I would say that Ducati is something that in my opinion is doing great. So I mean, there are a lot of brands that are doing great stuff, but Ducati is actually that always fascinated me since I started to join this industry, always.
Have you had a chance to ride any?
Yes, my baby was when I had 19, 20 years old. I had a Ducati Monster 696. Was amazing. Honestly, I joined that motorcycle so much. The B cylinder is so fun. I have to say that it's very fun. I miss that bike.
Did you cry when you had to, to give up that bike?
Actually, yes. Also, in that because for me, it's something that is very personal. I mean, the bike is for each biker that is in this world. The bike is not just a bike. It became something more than a vehicle. So it became very personal. And when I sold that bike, but I'm happy because I kept in touch with the current owner. And one day he showed me that he'd done a video with a drone of the bike. So he really is taking care of the bike, and so I'm glad of that.
Oh, that's great. So prior to this, you were living in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing before you joined Damon?
Before joining Damon, I worked for another company, a consultant company. It's called Riccardo Motorcycle. It was an internship. It was an amazing experience, and maybe 6 months, yeah, if I remember well. So it was a consultant company. So they work for other company, but I was working there also always as motorcycle designer.
So you studied motorcycle design specifically in school?
Yes, I studied transportation design in Turin in a university called IAD. It's amazing because my dream was to become a motorcycle designer, and at first I was not sure that there was something that could allow me to, have this kind of graduation. Then I found this university where they work precisely on in my sector on transportation and like vehicles design. So we studied car design, interior car design, yacht design, and motorcycle for sure. That was my favorite subject.
Very cool. So you mentioned that was always your dream.
Yes.
So even as a young child, were you fascinated by motorcycles?
Yes. I mean, actually, when I say young, I say like from when I was probably 12.
Okay.
12. So since I was 12, I started to join let's say the motorcycle world that literally saved my life because I was going through a very tough period, and for me, the motorcycles saved me completely. So when I say that, it's actually true. And from that moment, from the first time that I got, on the bike, I said I want to create bikes in my life. So since that day, I always wanted to do the motorcycle designer in my life. Always.
Well, I'm so glad that you pursued that path.
Yeah.
You're an incredibly talented designer, and
Thanks.
It's really exciting to see your dream realized.
Thanks so much.
So did you grow up in a motorcycle family, or how were you exposed to that? At 12 years old, how were you exposed to motorcycles?
My father was a biker since he was very young. He had a lot of bikes. I actually did motocross for a long time. And then also my brother is a biker too. And yes, so after that, I mean, for me, maybe it was also easier to join this world for that, because in my family, my mom and my sister, no. My brother and my father, very passionate bikers.
It's interesting because some folks have a lot of pushback from their parents, but I would imagine in this case, your dad might be proud of you for pursuing your dream.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, at first they were like, motorcycles are, dangerous, and I mean, fair enough, it's true.
Yeah.
But then I just let them know, and I let them understand that was my dream. Like, that motorcycle for me were everything. So I said, Dad, Mom, I like, if you remove the bikes from my life, you remove one half of my heart. So I said, please let me just, live this dream. That actually now became a goal, an ambition, not just a dream. And so, yes.
Oh, well, I'm really glad that you did. Like I said, I'm glad that you pursued that passion.
Thanks.
So you mentioned that motorcycles are dangerous. Have you had any accidents on your motorcycle at all?
Unfortunately, yes. Luckily, this didn't let me, just jump off this world. But unfortunately, yes. And the bad part is that in Italy, we have a final exam after the 5 years of the high school. It's an exam that you do like once in your life. So it needs to be a very important moment of your life. And what happened to me is that I've done the accident in exactly the same morning of the exam.
Oh no.
So I was with my sister, I was riding my Yamaha R125, and I done a T-bone with a taxi, and we flew literally on the car. So it was very bad.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But after that, I was very worried, mostly for my sister. So I remember that I had a very bad pain to the neck because in the moment that I started to fly, I just did this to see my sister that was in my back, in the back of in the passenger seat. And but after that, I said, no, Noemi, you have to absolutely go on a bike again because you don't have to have you don't have to be scary by that. And so
good for you to get back on. I mean,
Yeah,
something like
God.
that sounds incredibly traumatizing. So.
A bit.
So good for you to get back and continue even after such a terrible accident.
Thanks.
So you moved across the world for this job. How was your experience relocating from Italy over to Canada?
Was at first, honestly, was a bit tough, was a bit difficult. But now that I live here since 1 year, this is the most beautiful experience of my life. I would recommend to all the people to do something like that, like to move in another country, because open your mind is something that makes you feel different in some ways. For sure, I miss Italy. I miss my family. I miss my very good friends. I miss the food.
I bet.
To be honest, I miss the food. But also, if I miss so many things, honestly, this experience has been until now amazing, and I hope that will, keep going to be like this.
Oh, good. I'm
yes.
really glad to hear that. Yeah. Have you gotten plugged into the local motorcycle community in terms of riding and so on?
Yes. I bought my motorcycle a few months ago, and I actually bought my dream bikes, so I was also very excited. I cried a lot. It was a very fun moment because me and the ex-owner of the bike, we both were crying in the moment when I bought the bike and he sold the bike.
And what is the bike?
It's the R6, Yamaha R6.
The Yamaha R6.
It's my dream bike since I was actually 12. So.
Oh, congratulations. You've accomplished a few of your big dreams in the last couple of years.
Yeah, in fact, it was very exciting. And so, yeah, I've done some ride around. Very nice places, very amazing views. There are not too many curves, but are very nice places.
That is true. Compared to Italy, I'm sure we don't have nearly as many curvy roads as you do.
But very nice views.
Indeed, yeah, it's beautiful. Did you do quite a bit of touring in Europe or elsewhere in the world on your motorcycle?
Unfortunately, I couldn't because let's say that the most part of my life when I was in Italy was focused on studying and work. So when I was studying in the university, I'm not kidding, I was doing just that. For 3 years, I've done just that. I was drawing and doing the projects 15, 14 hours per day, every day.
Wow.
I was not sleeping. Was very difficult. I'm glad that I've done that, but so unfortunately this couldn't let's say allowed me to do a lot. So travels around the world, but this is something that I would like to start here now. So
absolutely. Any places on your bucket list?
Honestly, in this moment I have so many things to see that I don't have a precise place that I want to see. I just want to go around and explore with a bike.
Well, I wish you many great adventures on the roads ahead.
Thanks. I can't wait.
So I just love to ask you one last question, Noemi. Just wondering if you have any advice or any thoughts for women who are interested in getting into this industry, specifically as a designer.
What I can say honestly is that for sure I'm a person that think that when you are determined and very focused, you achieve what you want. It's very hard. I have to be honest, it's something that it's not easy. You have to work super hard when you have this kind of goal of ambition. And but what I can say to the people that wants to join this industry is just that don't give up, because if you want it, you will do it. But you have to work very, very hard. And for women that wants to join this industry, I can say that sometimes can be a bit intimidating. but this is what it is. You have to just be strong, and just don't let people think that just because you're a woman you can do something. So, but it's an amazing world in any case, and an amazing industry. And I'm actually very excited to see more women in this industry. So I can't wait.
Well, you're certainly living proof that the hard work pays off, and I'm so honored to be able to have spoken with you today. I
Thanks
really
so
loved
much.
hearing about your story. And I wish you the best in accomplishing the next set of your dreams. I'm sure that whatever you decide to do, you will achieve it.
Thanks so much. Thanks for this opportunity, and thanks for everything. You're amazing.
Thanks, Noemi.